Hello, Squatch Americans, and welcome back. Yeah, we're
This is Scott with Squatch America.
Scott with Squatch America.
Hannah, domestic goddess who hasn't had enough coffee today in the paddy wagon. I'm not going to have any more. I want to sleep tonight.
So, obviously, you noticed we probably missed us last week. We were supposed to have the She Squatchers on, and here's the great thing.
That was a big cluster.
Yeah, what happened was we had them on Zoom. We were chatting with them. We got ready to go online to do the show, and then all of a sudden, the internet just went. It just dropped, and we lost everything. I lost our connection with them, lost our connection with YouTube. Tried to get them back. We got the girls back, and then we tried this. Well, we figured out we couldn't stream and talk to them at the same time, so we're going to record it and just upload it. But
no bueno.
No bueno. We started to do the recording with them, and then we got dumped, and they were on Zoom by themselves. So
it was a delightful evening that may have involved some adult consolation later on.
It was, yeah.
But we're back, and the good news is next Thursday, the She Squatchers will be on with us, and here's why it's going to work. Because our internet service provider, Nomad Internet,
is back.
We have our new modem. It's 5G. That could be good. That could be, I don't know, maybe mind control. Maybe we're going to all turn into Cybermen here shortly.
I don't know. Probably.
Anywho. So
right.
We've got great blazing hot internet, and the She Squatchers will be back next Thursday, 7 p.m. Central.
They will. All right. Perfect. Looks like you start. All right. So, well, we have got an interesting show for you tonight. We've got a couple of announcements.
We do?
Yeah, so we did talk about the She Squatchers being back. Actually I had the commercial for it, but I'm going to
play the commercial.
You want to see the commercial?
Yes, play the commercial. Why not?
Okay, here we go.
Metaphysical, paranormal, all those things you've been wondering about. Are you ready to go deeper into the realms of the unknown?
All right, so that is up on our channel. If you want to share that with people and try to get as many as we can in here for next week to share with all of you and all the Squatchers out there. So
if you know any lonely Squatchers, they're going to want to watch this one.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
These are great ladies, actually.
They are wonderfully fun.
They are. So with that, what else have we got going on?
You said we had some other announcements.
Oh.
Do we have other announcements?
We do, actually. We're going to be headed into in the next couple days. We actually get to go squatching.
We're going to Nacogdoches.
Nacogdoches,
on Sunday.
Texas. Yes, because we were here in the campground, and this gentleman came by and left us a note. And, well, actually, I had talked with him, and then he came back by and wrote a note with all the directions and everything.
Including turn left at the Angry Goat.
Yes.
Because we're in the turn left at the Angry Goat country.
Yeah.
It's great.
And right at the Red Barn, and don't cross the creek, but right before that, that sort of stuff.
The best.
That was the best. So we got some great directions, and we're going to be going into where he had some tree knocks one day, and then the next day his son actually had a visual sighting. So that's going to be fun.
Speaking of visual sightings.
What?
If you have not seen the latest video
on
our channel,
there's a link in the description.
There's a link in the description. This has nothing to do with Bigfoot, but it has everything to do with Area 51. So everyone go back. Not right now. You're watching us. We're way too interesting. But Make sure that after this show, you go and you watch our latest post because we caught something on our video from Area 51 that we didn't know was there. If you haven't shared that video, share that video. Let's see if we can get it going viral. That'd be so fun.
Because we had shot a video for our other channel, for the Paddy Wagon channel, not the Squatch America channel. And we usually do funny, jokey stuff over there. So I did a video, and it took me about a month to edit it because we wanted to do a lot of fun stuff. And we were out hunting graboids.
If you don't know what graboids are, I have just one word for you. Tremors.
Yeah, watch the movie.
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. So
lots of pew-pews in that one.
All right. So anyway, we posted a video about some video that, our time in Rachel, Nevada in Area 51. Well, a viewer over there,
Sovereign Cosmic Wild Man.
Yeah, Sovereign Cosmic Wild Man, saw something in one of our in the video and said, "Hey, you got a picture of a UFO?" And I'm like, "What?" So I went back, found the raw footage that I had filed away, and we did another video on it. And yeah, actually we caught something
that was not a jet.
Yeah, in the sky. So that was interesting. Actually, two somethings. But
those somethings, I've noticed, they don't leave contrails.
They don't. The jets were leaving contrails, and they were moving a lot slower, like snail pace to what these things were moving in the sky. So that was interesting.
Go watch and share that video.
Yeah. So, but for our show tonight, we got to go to, for me, the Bigfoot mecca of the world, Fouke, Arkansas.
But before that, we have the meme of the week.
You ready? It's kind of a southern fried meme too. So you gonna do it or?
Sure. Delbert does his best Bigfoot yell. Cletus says, "Dang, that was just like on TV."
Yep.
Is that funny?
That is funny because I think that most people yelling in the woods are.
They think, oh, I get it. They think that if it's on TV, it's got to be real.
It's got to be real. Yep. So.
It's not?
It might be. So.
I mean, Abraham Lincoln did tell us not to believe everything that was on Facebook.
Yes, he did. Just remember that.
Old Honest Abe said it.
Yep. So, we got to go hunting for the legendary Fouke Monster on the Sulphur River down in Boggy Creek. Oh, I was so excited to go there.
It was really swampy.
Yes.
My boot got stuck once.
Because it's a swamp.
Yes, it's a bit of a swamp.
So, anywho, I'm going to put this where I can't see the chat too. Okay.
I will watch the chat.
All right.
You just worry your pretty little head about your slideshow.
All righty. So the first stop, we did a video on this, but I wanted to go into detail with you guys because I wanted to be able to chat with you guys and answer any questions you have. And there's some stuff that I didn't put in the video, the short little video I did, that we did find. And so this is where you get the inside information, sort of. Okay. So our first stop was at the beautiful, the illustrious, the historic Monster Mart. So for those of you who don't know what the Monster Mart is, it is one of the two stores. I think there's two stores and
a donut shop.
And a donut shop in Fouke. That's how big Fouke is. I mean, there's like 600 people live there, I think.
He's ready to move. He's ready to settle right there in
Fouke. So
people are super nice.
So should I do that thing where they do type 1 in the chat if you have seen the movie The Legend of Boggy Creek? All right. So while we were in the Monster Mart, we did all the touristy stuff that you do in the Monster Mart. So here's some stuff that's in there. They've got these big murals. They've got some stuffed Bigfoot. They've got a carved Bigfoot outside, of course. And then they've got a lot of the movie memorabilia. The movie was done, oh my gosh, I should have looked this up, but I think it was in 1968, just off the top of my head, or 72, something like that.
Was it before or after the Patty film?
It was after the Patty film.
So I think 1972 is
72, I think it was, yeah. And so they have some of the movie memorabilia, and like Willie Scott, or
Patrick McGuire has seen it.
Awesome, Patrick.
If you have not seen The Legend of Boggy Creek, first of all, that's not fair because I've seen it about 574 times in the last 24 years.
That's my go-to. About once a week I watch it.
And I didn't even know all the music. I can even play it all on my keyboard, and I can sing all the songs. And sometimes that, hey, Travis Crabtree, wakes me up in the middle of the night, and I punch him in the face because of it. But no, it will scratch your itch.
Yep.
For brown 1970s filming.
Yes, it is awesome, and it actually
has crackly sounds in it, and like, you know, you can see where they taped the movie reels together.
It was one of the first actually dramatized documentaries ever done.
It's a docudrama.
Docudrama. It was one of the very first ever done. It kind of like invented the docudrama, and don't watch Boggy Creek 2.
Oh, that was
a horrendous failure, but
you loved every minute of it. It was like B movie heaven.
Right. It was horrible. But anyway,
was it as good as those horrible B movie Godzilla movies?
Yeah, it was right up there.
Could
with
you
that.
see the strings?
You could see the strings in the monster suits, and it was horrible. But anyway, they have a lot of the movie memorabilia in there, which was really kind of cool.
And all the Archie McPhee Bigfoot toys you could imagine.
Yeah,
I bought
all that.
one.
But they have a lot of Bigfoot history in there, and we're going to get to that a little bit later. But they have a lot of the Bigfoot history stuff. But what was really cool is something we knew nothing about. So I was in there, you know, oohing and like drooling all over the footprint casts and trying to read all the newspaper clippings they had in there and taking pictures of them.
And Hannah was getting bored, and so she was going and socializing the other end of the store with the store clerk and smelling the pizza and all.
Yeah. And then she was like talking with the store clerk, and actually I had some people that were Bigfooters, of course, coming in there, and so we were talking Bigfoot and stuff. And she looked up on the wall and she noticed a poster. Something we did not know that was going on.
So I very rudely marched back to where he was having these very intellectual Bigfoot conversations, and I said this, Donald Scott, we are missing at this very moment a Bigfoot festival. And he said,
what? In Fouke, Arkansas's Bigfoot festival? And so we're like, where is it? And we asked the gal, and she said, well, go down the road.
Turn at the Angry Goat.
Turn at the Angry Goat. Then make another left at the other creek. As soon as you cross two creeks and make a left, right, you know. So,
and you'll run right into it.
So
thank God I was able to find a Facebook announcement with coordinates.
Yeah, so we found it. So we found it. We drove out there in the middle of nowhere. And it was kind of fun. We crossed the Sulphur River twice while we were driving to it. I'm like, that's the Sulphur River. That's it. That's
the river.
The river. That's it. That's where all the stick place is, right here. So I'm like ooh and on, and we get there, and I get out of the truck, and we run over to the little pavilion where all the stuff was going on. And I was looking around, and this guy walks up to me, and he asked me, hey, where are you guys from? You know, because he saw us pulling in the Bigfoot truck, right? And I told him Oregon, and he turned and he said, this is our local judge in the town, this lady that was there. And he introduced me, and he asked me, where I was from, and I said, well, originally I'm from Oregon, and she goes, and he goes, turned to the judge and goes, see, we got people all the way from Oregon coming here to this. You know, I'm like, okay, I'll go along with
That
it.
was an accident.
That was an
Very
accident.
happy accident.
A happy accident. But anyway, so here's the dude that was talking with me. And come to find out, after we got some introductions and got to talking with him, he's Keith Crabtree.
It's a Crabtree boy.
He's one of those Crabtree boys. Is actually like, you know, that the song in the movie, "Hey Travis Crabtree." That's his like uncle or
his nephew.
Nephew. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh my gosh. I actually got to hang out and talk with and meet an actual Crabtree guy.
And for the record, he makes some amazing jerky.
He does. He was selling his jerky there. Oh my God.
But for $5 a pouch, worth every dollar, oh my gosh.
It was.
Well, I bought it because I forgot to bring the dog food, but you know, we had some too. It was great. Great jerky.
Yeah. So that was awesome. So I got to hang out with Keith Crabtree. And then I go back out to the truck, and this other gentleman come up and started talking to me, and I didn't know who he was right off the bat. And then after we started talking, I'm like, oh, okay, now I know who you are. I know of you, but I didn't know him. And so we were sitting there talking, and he goes, yeah, and Shelly Covington will be here in a minute. I'm going, the Shelly Covington? If you guys don't know who Shelly Covington, Montana is, she's probably the biggest big female, you know, Bigfooter that I know of. But she's not like, you know,
she's not a tree knocker.
She's not, yeah, she's not, I'm going to say she's not like on TV celebrity type person.
Serious.
She's a dead serious in the woods.
Boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground kind of gal. And her and I, and that's her right there, and her and I have actually spoke at 2 different Bigfoot conferences together up in Oregon. And just to run into her, you know, here in Fouke, Arkansas, just by accident, I'm like, oh my gosh. So
what I find interesting, you're probably going to share this, so I'm going to steal your thunder now. What I find interesting about Shelly is that, you know, she is she's the quintessential professional Bigfooter, and really what gives her more street cred than anything is she is a certified professional tracker, and she can debunk a print in seconds.
Yeah.
She can look at like those prints that we got from Maine last year that looked like Bigfoot tracks. She took one.
Oh, by the way, yeah, Dale, don't.
Sorry.
Yeah, don't break other people's hearts.
Don't break Daryl's heart with this, but those tracks, moose.
She looked at the photo and she's like, and I mean, she's like one certification away from being like a certified best tracker in the world kind of thing, animal tracker.
Yeah.
And she looked at it and she said it's probably a moose track. So
got, you know, kind of drug along in the mud there a bit.
Yeah. But anyway, another thing she does is she sells these and puts together and sells these really nice, and I was going to go out in the truck and bring it in for this and I forgot. But I have one. I finally got it from her. DNA gathering kits that she puts together. And it also has stuff, so if like a Bigfoot puts a handprint on a car window or whatever, you can pull that off with it. And she's got all the stuff in there for that. And I've been trying to get one from her for a couple years now. And the last conference we were at together, I was supposed to get one, and then I got up in the morning before she did. She was supposed to get it to me in the morning, and then I had to leave, and she wasn't up yet. And so, yeah. But anyway, I finally got my kit from her while we were there. And she is, another thing she's doing right now is she's working with, is it Doug Hychek? I think it's Doug. I can't remember his first name, but I know his last name's Hychek. Yeah, Doug Hychek, on this big DNA thing right now. So, Mike from Maine, if you're watching, that hair samples you got that I sent to Dr. Meldrum, I heard nothing from him back. So what I did was I got with her, and she told me how to contact Doug Hychek, who's doing this big DNA thing. So we're going to send that I have enough of that hair samples. So I'm going to send another sample to Doug, and then it is going to get DNA checked. So if you don't know who Doug Hychek is, he is a TV producer actually, and did a TV show it was a TV series called Monster Quest.
Oh yeah.
If you ever saw that, it was on Discovery Channel or something, I think. But anyway, but he's really into Bigfooting, and he's really into the science, and he's got some bucks behind him, so he can do stuff like that.
I think there's value in working more with people who aren't in the limelight.
Right.
Because if you're already in the limelight, that you don't have any investment in doing something that you're not already doing.
So the other guy, the cowboy hat here in the photo, is the guy who came up and talked to me. His name's Mike Waldy, and I didn't know I was already friends with him on Facebook. I didn't know that because I, don't pay attention. But he and I got to know each other. We spent 2-3 hours talking Bigfoot and stuff. And he runs a little outfit here in Texas called Texas Bigfoot Rangers. Isn't that a cool name?
It's like the Chuck Norris of the
It's
Bigfoot
like the Chuck
world.
Norris of the Bigfoot world. But he was going over his truck. The reason he came over and saw me is because I have a lot of gadgets and stuff on my truck for Bigfooting. And
it's a bit of a spectacle.
Yeah. And he saw my truck and he goes, wow, I got all this stuff on my truck too. And he wanted to show me all his gadgets. And he's kind of out-gadgeted me in a couple areas.
Renee, this was the funniest conversation you have ever heard in your life. And only 2 women are going to understand that.
What? About out Bigfooting truck me? I don't know. So if you
Whose was bigger? And so Renee and I will laugh together.
So yeah, mine was bigger because mine's a Dodge. All right, so but anyway.
Touche.
So if you see where I circled on his truck there, he actually has on both sides of his truck mounted I have infrared cameras that can see in the dark. He has thermal cameras on his. So his thermal cameras, sees heat and stuff. And he has a flip down thing in front of his rearview mirror in the ceiling of his truck that flips down, and it's got TV screens on it. So he can see the thermal cameras out to the side. And then in his truck, he has a bed in the back so he can just sleep in his truck. But if you see by his bed, there's switches and lights that light up. He's got motion detectors all the way around his truck. And then if something moves outside his truck at night, the motion detector goes off, the light lights up and tells him what side it's on. And then he's got these LED light bars that come on automatically to illuminate whatever's on that side of his truck.
I have a question. The little flip down things,
Uh-huh.
do they automatically go up and hide themselves if he gets pulled over by a trooper?
No, you have to put them up.
That's going to be bad. That's all bad.
Yeah. So, anywho, so we went on, and of course the Bigfoot Festival had all the stuff where you can buy hats and Nightcrawler radio, Bigfoot radio caller,
Night
crawlers. I can never talk. Anyway,
talking too fast. Slow down.
they were there doing the radio show. They're out of Oklahoma, actually. So we did all that stuff. We hung out with our friends for a while. Met new friends. Got to see Shelly again, which was kind of fun. And then we took off, and we got to go out into the woods. So we took Daisy Mae, the
adventure dog,
the amazing adventure dog, into the woods with us, and
she loves it. She loves being out there and hiking and smelling and rooting around.
Right, and I'm going to start working with her. I got a book with my last dog actually, that I was going to train. Or my last dog in searching for cadavers. So we're going to start working on that training with her. So that was a little theory I had about going into the woods and looking for dead things. So
she does love to dig things up.
yeah, she does, and she's got a good nose, and that's why I put that photo of her right there. I mean, when she finds stuff, she literally pounces on it like a cat. She's the weirdest thing. It's cute, and then she'll dig it up. So she's always looking in the ground for stuff.
And if she gets on the trail of something, she will literally rip your arm out of the socket to chase it down.
Yeah. So
she loves to
do
track.
That. So we went down to the world famous, it was so fun, Mercer Bayou. And if you've seen, down at the bayou, Mercer Bayou was where all the stuff back in the day was taking place, where they were finding footprints, and that's where the Ford family were attacked in their home.
Panthers underneath the house.
Yep. So all that was down by Mercer Bayou. So we went down to Mercer Bayou. We got to scout out the area. That was a lot of fun.
It's kind of sad. Well, it's not sad. I mean, it's necessary, but they've completely, in the movie, the river is completely flanked by all this kind of foliage and stuff. But now what they've done is they've taken a bulldozer and they've bulldozed a huge swath. So the swamp, I mean, people go fishing there all the time. They need to clear it out, but it doesn't look like it did in the movie so much anymore.
Well, no, but then we went to a couple other places we're going to go to, like the what was that? The other one, the Sulphur River bottoms. We went to Mercer Bayou, that was fine, but then when we went to Sulphur River, they had actually had it gated off, so you couldn't get down there. But so we got to hike around the woods for a while. That was a lot of fun. Ran across one old guy out there when we were coming back down by the bayou. He was putting his boat in the water, and he had saw my truck back up the road, and I walked by, and he goes, "Is that old monster still out here?" I looked at him and said, "Yeah, it is." So it was kind of.
You got the legend of Boggy Creek and all, and that kind of made Fouke a tourist hotspot and all that. But honestly, tell us about, because my question was, are there still sightings in Fouke? Talk to us about what's happening there.
Yeah.
And why is it three-toed?
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. So here's where my anthropology, my archaeology background really comes into play, because when I go into places like the Monster Mart, and they have all their displays there, they're just like museum displays. And if you know how to look at them, you can pick history out. If you look at all the articles and all the stuff that goes along with it and all that stuff, and
so I should not be looking at all the postcards.
No. So I did my due diligence. By the way, we spent the better part of the day out in the woods, and we found nothing, by the way, which is 90% of squatching, by the way. If you think you're going to go out and see a squatch the first time you go out, or every time you go out,
or even find a footprint,
now I have found footprints, but I find like one a year maybe. So that's how that, and I go out looking a lot more than most people do. At least, especially when I was in Oregon, it was like almost every other weekend or every weekend I could get out in the woods. And even with that amount of time in the woods, finding a footprint was rare. So
archaeology, anthropology, why is it three-toed, and how often do people see them? Or tell us about the current state of reports in this area.
So here was a display case that I took a picture of at the Monster Mart. Now, I don't know what you're watching this on, so if you got a bigger screen, you can probably see it or zoom in on it Oh, I guess you can't on the video, but these are footprint casts. And it says Sulphur River, Fouke Monster, June 2012. Another one says Fouke Monster, May 2019.
Boggy Creek.
Boggy Creek, along Boggy Creek, this cast, 2020.
February. So that's
February, less than a year
that's
ago.
before Bigfoot got locked down.
So people are still finding footprints in the Sulphur River bottoms. Just like we talked about in a few videos ago about the Sabine thing and the Fouke Monster being the same thing. There's these creatures all up and down these river bottoms. I mean, it's the same river bottoms basically in the Sulphur River. So what's being described in the movie, like here was something I took the time to read, was the making of the movie of the Fouke Monster and some of the stories they got while they were making the movie. I mean, they came down, they had stories about the movie, or they had stories about the monster and Fouke. That's why they came to make the movie. And while they were making the movie, they got more stories from more people, more recent than the stories they had when they first decided to come make the movie. And what's interesting is over on the side here. Oh, and I think I figured out a way to draw on the screen. Didn't I? Did I do that? Look at this. Oh, I can draw on the screen now.
It's a laser pointer.
It's a laser pointer. Yay. But this right here was one of their shooting sheets. When you do videos, when they're making movies, they have like a call sheet for the day that they put out that says, this is what we're doing today. And everybody gets one. Well, this is like one of their call sheets. And it talks about what they were going to go video for the day. And they're talking about new creature number 2, or the new creature number 1, new creature number 2, new creature number 3, new creature number 4. That's the new stories that they got.
So that's kind of where they said, well, we're going to go on the fly here and
we're going to go
improvise.
We're going to improvise and do these stories because we got new stories. Well, if I go back a slide here, they're still getting new stories in Fouke all the time. They're still casting prints. And
three-toed prints.
They have three-toed prints. They have five-toed prints. And I think we talked about the toe print thing before, but Hannah wanted me to reiterate it apparently, or she doesn't remember what I say ever. But
take your pick. I just find it interesting. What would cause a creature, what would cause a primate to all of a sudden have 3 toes instead of 5?
Okay, what that is, it's one of the first things that happens with a population that is inbred. There's a population of a tribe in Africa that have 3 toes or 2 toes. They call them the ostrich people. And it's just a matter if it's a small isolated tribe and they've had generations of inbreeding within the small group, there's no genetic diversity. So one of the first things that happens is deformities in the limbs and toes, feet especially. So that's one of the possibilities or theories. You know, that's why sometimes you do find toes, misnumbered toes.
Is that the same thing that causes the blue people?
Yep. Kind of this. Well, no, the blue people's something else. That's a genetic defect.
Oh, okay.
But in case you didn't know, that's one of the things we studied too, is in Kentucky, there was a small town in Kentucky where some of the population literally had blue skin. And it's
kind of an anthropological phenomenon.
It is an anthropological phenomenon.
Hey, Gordon, nice to see you.
So, anywho, that's what's going on with that. So by looking at these call sheets from the movie back then and some of the new stuff, and look, they have a dead baby Bigfoot in the Monster Mart. Hannah wasn't even paying attention. She didn't even see it laying there.
But I got a meditating Bigfoot. Is that that is not for
No,
real.
it's not for real. But it was there in the Monster Mart, and Hannah didn't even see it.
But I got a meditating Bigfoot.
So there's that. So is there stuff still going on in Boggy Creek?
Sounds like the answer is
The answer is
absolutely.
Absolutely, all the time. And like I said, the latest footprint cast they found was in February 2020. That's in the Monster Mart.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Thank you. Our AI has decided to chime in.
Yeah. So, and if you hear fans and going in the background, it's because it was 80 some odd degrees here in Texas today.
Yes,
with
we
high
went from
humidity.
almost floating away with as the lake encroached during the floods to now it's summer, and
Yeah.
I pulled out all my summer clothes.
Yeah, so
I'm not complaining.
So, a fun thing is we're headed to Nacogdoches
On Sunday.
on Sunday, and we're going to go out and do some squatching. That's going to be awesome.
And then next week, when we come back to you next week with the She Squatchers, we will be coming at you from Arley, Alabama.
Yep. So we're going to be doing some squatching there in Arley. That's our next stop.
If
Arley,
anyone
Alabama.
in our viewing audience has any contacts in Alabama, please hook us up.
Right.
I've never been to Alabama. Have you been to Alabama?
I have been to Alabama a lot.
Is it a lot like this?
It's a lot like this.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah. So, if you guys got any Alabama stories, let me know. And we'll check those out. Of course, well, Alabama's not that big a state, so we can get around there. It's not like Texas where it takes 2 days to drive anywhere in Texas here, but it's still an amazing small world, driving halfway across the United States and running into Shelley Covington, you know. Oh, by the way, it's kind of funny. We just got invited in September to a Bigfoot festival, if it's going to happen in Oregon in September, and Shelley's supposed to be there too, so I'll get to see her again.
Yeah.
And what else?
I don't know. You tell me.
You guys got any Boggy Creek questions out there?
Yep, we got 20 minutes, so let's have your questions. Pepper us to death.
Fire away. And no, there's not a real baby Bigfoot, but it kind of looked cool. In the Monster Mart, Fouke, Arkansas. So, there's silence in the waves out there.
We really need to start figuring out how to have them talk back to us.
Yep. We could do this on a Zoom call and I could see your faces. That'd be awesome.
Well, that is why we're going to start doing it on our Patreon page, is it not?
It is. So as soon as we get a few more Patreons, so not
Could
to be
be
that
our
way.
reward for having 5.
Yeah. So anyway.
Oh, let me give you a merch update. So if you have not been to squatchamerica.com, as we explained a few weeks ago, Bunker Branding is now handling all of our t-shirt fulfillment. And guess what?
What?
We are adding women's cut t-shirts in white. That's all I could do. That's all they keep on hand. But women, you can get your women's cut Squatch America t-shirt in white. And we will also be adding long sleeve t-shirts in a couple colors, I think like khaki green and white, and we're adding a few more colors of the regular t-shirts. Sorry, hunter orange is not an option.
I know.
Sorry, we tried it, but you know, but we are adding a few more things here and there, so you'll have slightly more purchase options with that.
All
And
right.
we're working on getting like a thermal coffee cup, but our other supplier doesn't carry them at this point.
So.
Yes, they're not up yet, but.
Oh, I was going there so we could.
No, I'm just saying they're coming. They're coming. So you're gonna have a few more t-shirt designs coming.
Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Wow.
If they want to view the product, you can click view product and it'll bring up a new screen.
Ooh.
Right now they're available in light olive and also in like a sandy color, but we're adding white and I think 2 other colors to that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and they're only $19. Oh my gosh, I want to buy me a t-shirt.
No, you're not. You've got plenty of t-shirts. We have no more room for t-shirts. We didn't even buy a Fouke Monster t-shirt.
I know. I really wanted to.
And he wanted a hat. It's like you have 57 hats in there already.
I know.
They all have Bigfoot on them. It's true. So there's our Patreon information.
Okay, there we go.
For less than a cup of Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, for you
Mainers.
nor'easters.
Yes. We had quite a conversation in the little independent Texas coffee shop today about Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
Anyway, for less than a coffee at Dunkin' Donuts, you can be a Patreon supporter of ours. And Dale, yes, we are doing another lecture in Maine this year.
Too.
Bring that up. So if you're going to be in Maine in August of this year, do you have it up there?
I can add it. Hold on. Keep
gonna,
talking.
All right, I'll keep talking. If you're going to be in Maine in August, please consider coming out to Wilderness Edge for a wildernessedgecampground.com. Marcel, you owe me money for that now. Wilderness Edge Campground is going to host a day-long Bigfoot festival, I think the second Saturday in August. Mm-hmm. It unfortunately is the same day as the Lake Champlain Monster Festival up in northern New York, but you know, what can you do? Uh-huh. There's always something going on, but it's going to be a full day-long festival. And we are working to, have food and vendors and all sorts of things. Are you having trouble finding your poster?
I am trying to get there. Okay.
Okay. So we're going to pull this information up. Let me just tell you, if you guys need a vacation this year, mm-hmm. August in Maine, I mean, that's after the mosquito midge blackfly season. That is the best season for seeing moose, for going on ATV excursions. Wilderness Edge Campground offers all of it. If you want to bring your RV out, go cross country, we've got tons of RV places, tons of RV spots to camp at. That's thunder. Anyway, if you want to come and tent it for a few days, we've got great tent sites. The bathrooms are always sparkling clean until 13-year-olds mess that up and we go clean them again. If you don't have any of that and just want to bring your clothes, we have RVs already set up for rent. And of course, right now, airlines are trying to get people flying again. So I'm assuming that prices are going to be a little bit lower.
Maybe.
But anyway, are you almost there? I'm running out of stuff to talk about. Oh my gosh, how am I doing, folks? Anyway, you should come out and spend a week with us at Wilderness Edge Campground. Marcel and Wendy have nightly campfires. You can bring your own beverage. They always have food. We can do s'mores. There it is, the North Maine Bigfoot Conference is almost up. I am running out of talking. But we would love to have you at Wilderness Edge with us for a week, and we will take you out squatching.
Will we?
Well, of course you will. Or moosing.
Or moosing.
Here it is. No, is that it? Oh, that's the. Oh, he brought the whole. So there we are. Honestly, if you're coming from like the West Coast, I'm just going to say this. I mean, y'all need to, if you've not been to Maine, you need to come out. I mean, honestly, now that we've been exploring the country for a year, and we are very fond of South Dakota, and we are extraordinarily fond of Texas. I mean, we are just about Texans now.
Yeah.
Oh, we found a hardware store today. Holy cow. Anyway, see? But
And not to disparage anybody else in the other parts of the nation, but Texas is free right now. In other words, it's free.
Anyway.
No masks.
Anyway.
No, nothing's closed.
Anyway.
Everything's open 100%. Okay, I'm done.
Anyway. We're very fond of Texas, and I would love to do a whole episode on Hooten's Hardware. But Maine, the beauty of Maine is incomparable. There is not a state in the union, I would say not even Oregon, is.
Well, there are different kinds of forests.
There are different kinds of beauty. I know. No, Maine is incomparable. So I'm serious. I would highly recommend, make a vacation plan to come to Maine the week of the Bigfoot Festival. We will take you out. And if this is going to help anyone, the bar and grill next to the campground has the best barbecue ribs you've ever had in your freaking life.
Sawmill.
The Sawmill, yes. Boy, we're giving all sorts of people free advertising.
Yeah, we are.
But no, because we're going to be spending the summer there again, mostly for fun this time. Last year he worked his hiney off. This year we're going to enforce some boundaries a little bit,
and we're going to do some squatching
and there's canoeing and kayaking and hiking galore and
the North Maine Woods, Mount Katahdin, all about 1 billion lakes. I mean,
and trails everywhere, ATVing like crazy. It's like the state hobby. If you like beer, bring your own.
Yeah, that's it.
Anyway, if you like really fine espresso, we've got a machine.
There you go. But if you want some really good whoopie pies and Nana's sweet treats.
Yes,
there you go.
And ice cream on every corner. Yeah. Anyway, we love Maine, and oh yes, we might even be looking for property up there. We'll see. But there is trout. Is there trout fishing?
Yes.
There's tons of trout and salmon and other fish.
And if you want to go to the coast, there's lobster. I mean, there's people driving around with trucks that'll sell you a lobster out of the back of it.
You know how
everywhere.
Yeah.
Even inland. Yeah.
It's funny. Like here, you got the tamale trucks on the corners, like free homemade tamales. Tamales. In Maine, it's like, hey, fresh caught lobster.
Yes.
I don't go there because I'm not a fan, but we know Dale loves his fire roasted lobster.
Yep.
Anyway, so. Anyway, we would love to see some of you, our homies, at the North Maine Bigfoot Conference.
Right. And then if this thing really does get get pulled off. They're shooting for later September. There's no date yet, but for sure. But they're shooting, I think, for later September in Wolf Creek, Oregon, which is down by
north
just
of
north of Grants Pass. We're going to be having a Bigfoot festival there, and Shelley Covington may be there. I don't know if they got the whole guest list down yet, but I know they've been talking with me and the Olympic Project guy,
Shane Corson
is going to be there, and I'm really bad with names. There's another gal who is a female Sasquatcher, and her name just left my head, but she's also an anthropologist, works for the state of Oregon now, actually. Forest Service.
Poor thing.
Yeah, poor thing. Anyway.
Say that out loud.
But she's going to be there speaking. And also they may have, I know last year we had Sarah Sounds guy.
Oh, Ron Moorhead?
Ron Moorhead was there too. So
anyway, lots going on. Sounds like Squatching is getting, the Squatch conference circuit is starting to
come back.
And of course, that is what really ideally determines our travel schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll be zipping. Unfortunately, we'll have to leave Maine much earlier this year than we did last year. We'll be zipping. We'll be there through Labor Day this year, and then we got to zip back to Oregon.
Yeah.
For conferences.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. My mama.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna tell me I talk like I have cotton in my mouth.
I know, because we spent too much time in the South.
It's true. We love the food here. Oh my gosh.
Yep. And the hospitality, and
yeah.
Hannah likes being called ma'am a lot. Yes, ma'am. People, I mean, you know, the the waiters and the kids in the store and the
So I saw a meme the other day. So before I will go on this. So people in the East are nice, are kind, but not nice. People in the West are nice, but not kind. And people in the South are nice and kind. and you have to go to the South to know the difference, but I know the difference now.
Yep.
So yeah, Southern hospitality is no joke.
Yeah. So Pappy said he grew up in northern New York.
All right.
Same kind of woods.
Same kind of woods. Absolutely. We really like Maine. Property in Maine is so cheap. Yeah. Oh, okay. Let me pull back from that. Property in the North Maine woods is really cheap. Mm-hmm. And
because nobody wants to live there in the winter. That's
yeah.
why.
And what did the realtor say today? If you're looking for a Mr. Fix It Up, mm-hmm. He'll take it.
Yep, I'll take it. So
anyway, anything else for the good of the order?
Nope. But like I said, next week we're going to be hitting the road and working our way slowly but surely back
to Maine. We're going to be in Alabama for a few weeks, and then we head for
North Carolina and
South Carolina.
And
North Carolina. I get to visit my auntie in North Carolina.
And then we're going to actually go to for a few days, and then we're going to be headed up through Pennsylvania. We're going to be in Pennsylvania, and back in the Amish country for a little bit. A couple days in
Old Orchard Beach.
Yeah, no, before that. Oh. Where was that place in Massachusetts we stayed?
Oh yeah. Sturbridge, Massachusetts.
We're going to go to Sturbridge, Massachusetts for a little bit, and then we're going to be at Old Orchard Beach for a little bit, and then we're going to be back up in Millinocket.
Yep. So Dale, we'll get there when we get there.
We're on our way, though, buddy.
Make sure our spot is cleared. I don't want to put a hole in our roof. Yep. Gordon's been... Yeah, Gordon, here's the thing. Winters are kind of sketchy, yeah. And so the plan is if we own property in Maine, we get to stay there in the summer and then leave after the leaves turn.
Yep.
And then we come south. And then for spring, we head to the Dakotas.
Dakotas. Because we also love the Dakotas.
We do love the Dakotas. Yep.
So we can winter in Texas, spring and fall in the Dakotas, summer in Maine. Sounds good to me.
Yep.
Because guess what? There's squatches in all those places.
Yep. Well, it is 5 minutes from the top of the hour, so I think it's probably a good time to remind them of our job.
All right, folks, just remember this.
Our job is to investigate the unexplained.
Not to explain the uninvestigated.
So as always, thank you so much for watching us, for putting up with us, for laughing at our silly, slightly off-color and inappropriate jokes. Until next week, you just keep it squatchy and
go out and find Bigfoot.
see you next time. Bye.
Bye.